Hello and welcome to Politics Today. I'm Farooq Patafi. Viewers, once again, we are going to talk about 18th Amendment because although it seems that when it was passed, it was something that was considered a finished business. But since then, many a times it has been re-litigated and many leaders, not only the incumbents, have questioned many aspects of it, especially when it comes to the revenue distribution and revenue collection. That becomes a very serious issue. And we have heard the Prime Minister of Pakistan talking about the very aspect of the amendment that provinces have been given the capacity to collect revenue or taxes, but they don't have the capacity. And because they don't have the capacity, usually they have to rely on the central government. But this is not all. There are many other aspects. For example, right now we are facing a huge challenge in the shape of COVID-19. So there too, the relationship between the federation and provinces becomes quite an interesting aspect. We are going to talk about this and whether the major political parties can come up with some solution to fix the problems that might be there in the 18th Amendment. In order to help us understand these issues, we are joined by Mohammad Ibrahim Khan Sahab, MNA of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. He joins us on Skype. Ibrahim Khan Sahab, thank you very much for finding time for us. Let me first of all ask you, why did the government feel need to debate or discuss 18th Amendment and NFC awards at this juncture?
Sure. In fact, two departments were really suffering at the most out of this 18th Amendment was where we need improvement, definitely in consultation with our opposition parties.
Right.
One was your health that was being not taken care of properly and was being ignored, and the other one was health. And both
Okay.
issues were really serious ones, and health and education. And in both cases, we had to make certain changes in the law that both of these two departments can be taken care of because these are the basic fundamental, way of running the affairs of the government is your health, education, your law and order, and your, I mean, other aspects of running of the government, but these are like a few of the major things which were suffering because of the 18th Amendment.
Right.
And we want to bring it on the table and to make an improvement. I mean, the purpose is not to eliminate 18th Amendment or anything the way the opposition
Right.
or the Fazlur Rahman has been trying to create a havoc out of it. It's not that. All we
Okay.
want to do is to make things better, to make improvements in those
Right.
fields
Now,
where we
Ibrahim
are.
Khan Sahab, I understand your concerns. The question is, how are you going to go about it? The parliament at this moment is not in session. And it seems while you're opening up the economy, the parliament is still under lockdown. So, how do you propose to actually bring about these changes?
I think with the grace of Allah Almighty, I think this COVID-19 issue, pandemic goes down,
Right.
and the soon we are able to assemble in the National Assembly, I think that's the only way out. I mean, you cannot sit home and make amendments or make improvements in the law.
Right.
Definitely, it will be when the parliament is in session, and
Right.
we're hoping that we're also consulting with our opposition parties, like how to go about it and how to make sure that all the MNAs who come for the session,
Right.
their seating arrangements should be changed, and that
Right.
the social
And
distancing
we are
has to.
going to talk about that modality as well. Let me bring in Arif Chaudhry Saab, who joins us on telephone, senior lawyer, constitutionalist. Chaudhry Saab, thank you very much for joining us. My question is regarding 18th Amendment. From time to time, we see that debate returns to forefront, talking about various weaknesses of the amendment. What is your understanding of how 18th Amendment is?
Thank you very much, Professor. Basically, this amendment was being demanded and, by the provinces since long time.
Right, right,
And it was very important because, if you have to keep the federation intact and working with, a sort of without problem, then naturally you need to give more autonomy to the provinces. And not only to the provinces, but that should go down to the level of municipal committees, town committees, union councils, grassroots level. Because until and unless you devolve all these powers, and functions to grassroots level, you cannot dispense uh, with justice, with whatever amenities are required. That has to be conducted through those grassroots level administrations, and that's what is happening all over the world. Especially in democratic world. As more powers you assume in federation, more problems are there, and tensions rise, among those the provinces, and they feel as they are being neglected. So the problem basically is that of chaudrahat in Pakistan. Otherwise,
right,
if you have to run a democracy and you have to run a parliamentary democracy, then this power should not be maximum with the center. Center should be, not only a titular head, it
right.
should have a
Arif Chaudhry
power.
Sahab,
Yeah.
you're talking about the wisdom of the 18th Amendment. That is a
Yeah.
given because there was a consensus that brought it on the law books. But the question right now is about its limitations because we know that it was hardly even debated in the parliament. There was a committee that that actually came up with the consensus and just passed it. Do you think that this is the time to re-examine it right now?
Yeah, but that's the problem. I would call it rampant. It is not a one-time problem. Every time, you have to bring an amendment,
Right.
whatever the government is, they are in such a hurry that debates they always consider very unnecessary. Although I consider that debates on all these issues should be so vast, so comprehensive, and so involving that every aspect should be discussed, because when you have to legislate, it means that it's going to go down these streets. So even now, the problems which are being faced by the federations and vis-a-vis the provinces regarding
Right.
administration. So I think,
Okay.
there should be no problem that they should sit together and discuss all these issues. And, even the public at large should be taken into confidence. There should be debate.
Right.
And, the most, vibrant forum for all this is the parliament and not the center in
Absolutely,
executive.
sir. Arif Chaudhry Saab, I'm going to come back to you. Please do stay with us. We are joined by Seher Kamran Sahiba, who is a senior leader of Pakistan People's Party. Let me bring her in. Ma'am, thank you very much for joining us. The question right now is about 18th Amendment. And every time this matter actually surfaces, the reaction from your party is very aggressive, as if it is part of ideology. Why is it so that you think that there is no flaw in 18th Amendment at all?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Uh, Farooq, I don't know exactly whether it's the right time to talk about the 18th Amendment, if the Parliament was meeting, and if this is a subject that we need to deal today. I believe government should come out of its fantasies.
Okay.
And if this is the media strategy to every day create a new issue and divert the whole attention towards that issue, to overshadow its incompetence, I would say this is not the right time. This is
Right.
not the right time. Yes, the
That
18th
that
Amendment is
is
very
quite
close
an
to our heart.
interesting aspect. But regarding your reaction, I'm talking about your reaction 6 months ago, your party's reaction 12 months ago, 2 years ago. Every time somebody actually discusses it, we hear People's Party is saying that we are going to defend it, and there's no chance that we will let anybody amend it. Why so?
I don't know why this discussion always appears in the media only. Why we don't come to the parliament? Why we don't bring issues to the parliament? Why there are not debates in the relevant committees? First of all, I
Right.
would say yes, it is very close to our heart because we want
Okay.
to see a strong federation. We would like, and that is only possible when there is autonomy within the provinces. If the provinces are strong, federation is strong. We have already suffered.
Okay.
We have already suffered by losing a part of Pakistan. So we don't want things to go to the bad shape again. We would like to see the constitution stay in its original form. We have always welcomed any amendment that is the need of the time and that is required for the national purposes. Whether
Okay.
it was an amendment to form the military courts, whether it was a national action plan, whether there was anything where the consensus was required. But I don't know a party which is always running away from the parliament. Why
Okay.
it creates a new issue every day and bring it to the
Right.
public to divert the whole attention. At this time, I want to question the incompetence of the government in handling COVID-19. At this
Okay,
time,
ma'am,
I
I'm
would
going
like to
to,
question.
I want to keep the discussion focused on 18th Amendment, but if you have raised this question, let me go to Ibrahim Khan Sahab and ask him to respond to both these aspects. One, that perhaps the government has not been able to handle COVID-19 situation. That's why it's distracting attention. The second aspect is that your party doesn't take parliament very seriously. What is your reaction to that, Ibrahim Khan Sahab?
Uh, I would like to add to this. I mean, initially, my whole discussion, which I think I wish she was listening to what I said, was it's nobody's taking any 18th Amendment anywhere.
Okay.
All we're saying is there is always room for improvement. We are the ones who want to further bring devolution of power to the basis and at the point where from even a union council it should go down to the village council.
Okay.
And now saying that this is something that we are trying to create an issue out of it. How can we create an issue? All we said is that there is, I mean, under the circumstances, what we have seen these two departments being badly neglected due to some lacunas in the amendment. And we can all sit together, join hands, and do some brainstorming and come up with better solutions that can add to further strengthening of the devolution of power. And
Right. And do you want to comment on the question about government's performance regarding COVID-19 situation as well?
COVID-19 situation, I have been listening on the TV channels from different people coming on TVs and just complimenting each other, these two parties, People's Party and Noli. Yesterday there was a talk about like, oh, well, People's Party and the government of Sindh has outperformed every other province, which is not true. I mean, if you will look at today's statistics,
Right.
they're almost reaching 5,000 people who have been infected, whereas in Punjab, which is like almost twice the population of Sindh, we have like 5,600 people who are infected, and 140 or 145,000 people have been so far. I haven't checked with this as of this suspected coronavirus patient. Out of
Right.
that, this was the ratio, and now if they are saying that we are not handling it well, then
Right.
they should look at what's
One
going
last
around.
question before I go to other guests, sir. Regarding Parliament, when do you think it will be in session?
We are, our hierarchy, our leadership is in consultation with the opposition leaders and trying
Okay.
to come up with a solution where we can hold the, because it's not just for this COVID-19 or 18th Amendment. I mean, we have to pass the budget. I mean, the budget say it's going to be a budget session. So,
Right.
I mean, but we want to make it sure that it's safer for everybody.
Okay.
And at the same time, we are able to run the affairs of the government smoothly also.
Okay.
So
Right.
I think mid of
May.
May maybe,
Okay.
most
Let us
probably.
hope that happens, sir. Let me go back to Arif Chaudhry Saab. Arif Chaudhry Saab, you are listening to the discussion, but I want to focus more on the possible limitations within 18th Amendment. Nobody said that it is sacrosanct and it cannot change tomorrow. Whenever you talk about constitution, it is thought to be a living document. Right now, one concern that we repeatedly hear from the center is that provinces don't have the capacity to collect taxes. And that's why, in terms of finances, it becomes a nightmare. What do you have to say on that, sir?
Yeah, if you look around the globe, I would mention that everywhere the powers are decentralized, but with a concept that more efficiency, more effectiveness of the
Right.
government, good governance should be brought in.
Okay.
So as far as Pakistan is concerned, I would comment that I would rather submit before the parliamentarians that instead of having discussions in such a way that it looks like as there are two warring factions, or there are two different countries who need power. It's one country. Within that one country, there
Right.
are four provinces, and those four provinces have to act within the four corners of law, and that is four corners of the Constitution. And as
Okay.
you already rightly said, that Constitution is a living document, and it has to evolve. Once
Right.
you pass an amendment, and then you see that it's not bringing good results, there are certain problems after
Okay.
that amendment. So I don't think there should be any problem, bringing another amendment. Or
Right.
it's if you see about other constitutions, American Constitution, there are so many amendments in that constitution. In Indian
Right.
Constitution, there are so many amendments.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely,
amendments,
sir.
because if you have to keep the equilibrium amongst the federation, between the federation and the provinces, then
Okay.
you have to give proper weight to those problems which are being faced either way. It may
Okay.
be the federal government or it may be the provincial government. And
Right.
then keeping it in juxtaposition, you have to take a decision that, if you have to create a working relationship between the federation and the provinces,
Provinces.
then
Right.
naturally you have to devolve powers, and then not only devolve, but certain powers which essentially are required by the federation to run effectively and
Right.
smoothly. In
Okay.
order to dispense with the good governance, you have to
Right.
give and surrender those powers to the center. But the problem always we have faced
Right.
is regarding the person who is in charge of the affairs.
Right.
If there
That's a
are
very,
divergent
very good point, sir. Arif Chaudhry Sahab, before I go to Sair Kamran Sahib, I have one more question about the modality to change amendments. Do you think that one will need, or the parliament will need, a two-third majority to amend it, or it can be done through some kind of ordinances as well?
No, not through ordinances. You have to
Okay.
go through, because it's a constitutional amendment only with two-thirds majority. You
Okay.
have to bring
Okay.
everybody on board, and you have to convince all other parties. Until and unless they are all convinced, you cannot go beyond that. Because that's
Right.
a big obstacle in on the way of the federal government. that they cannot go unilaterally or they cannot go single-handedly. They
Yeah.
have to get the consensus. And
Right.
after that
That is
consensus, you
that
can
is perhaps why you see a lot of reaction coming from the opposition as well. Perhaps they fear that there might be some other way to actually amend it as well. Let me now go to Seher Kamran Sahiba. Seher Kamran Sahiba, you have listened to the discussion that is going on. But here's another aspect that your party, which actually came up with the 1973 Constitution, which came up with the 18th Amendment, does speak of provincial autonomy, but it doesn't speak much of devolution of power. For example, when you look at the province of Sindh, the power is vested in the Sindh government, but the local governments are not empowered. And if the voters vote for some other party there, for example in Karachi, the funds are not released. Do you think that in that equation it is perhaps important to have more checks and balances in relationship between federation and provinces?
Farooq, I think these propagandas will not work anymore. I
Okay.
would say that at least we have the local governments. What about Punjab? What about KP?
Right.
Like in a province where you suspend the local government, in the province when we are not ready to elect the local government, and then you talk about these things. At least Sindh has put in the best healthcare structure in the province. This was only because of the provincial autonomy that we were able to provide relief to our people. Now it's the responsibility of the federations that the international funding that is coming in, that the fund that they are collecting, they should give the provinces also a due assistance. You know,
Right.
I don't know what is the behavior when we know that the federal government has lacked two-third majority, and this amendment could not be changed in any way at this very point. Why the government is not focusing on its performance? Less testing means that exactly if you are reducing your testing capacity and you claim that exactly the number of the affected people are less, I pray every day. I pray that
Right.
exactly we overcome this pandemic. But please
Right.
don't play with the
And
health and
one,
life of the
one
people.
understands your concern about the pandemic, ma'am. The other concern that I just raised, you said that Punjab is also not doing it. The local bodies are not being empowered. You gave other examples as well. Two wrongs never make a right. We are talking about Karachi, where we saw a very strange kind of scenes when garbage collection became a huge problem, and the mayor was saying that I don't have funds or powers to actually collect garbage. In that situation, when you are looking at the circumstances, is it not important to
I think
revisit
if
18th
this
Amendment and to ensure that
Farooq, I
devolution of
believe.
power also takes
Okay,
place?
this is a problem. You would not like me to complete my argument. You know exactly if these political issues which were raised from time to time are addressed within the province. We have seen Mayor 110 times sitting together with the Sindh government. The due share and the money was released to them. They are working there in cooperation. It's the federal government which is trying. Sometimes they are calling for the governor rule. Sometimes they are, the governor is going and distributing money to the people and asking them, is giving you this money? These type of tactics would not work. Then there were claims by Ali Zaidi, the Minister of Maritime Affairs, and Faisal Wada, and then they disappeared. So why could you could not clear the garbage? My bill on civic democratic education has been passed. Why it is not being implemented? That's the law. We have to educate people also. Exactly, just like blocking the drains and making the pictures. Where is Mr. Fix-It now? These types of propagandas will not help. This is I'm trying that the government should have a serious approach.
This is third
approach
time,
towards
ma'am,
the
that you're
problem
calling
that
it
the public is
propaganda, and
facing.
then you say that I don't let you finish the argument. You can finish your argument as many times as you want. My question is repeatedly about 18th Amendment, that if you are agreeing that there are problems and there might be propaganda involved, is it not important to at least revisit 18th Amendment and see whether there are some limitations or some flaws in it so that that can be fixed?
Okay, Farooq, that is not going to be fixed in the media. That is not going to fix outside the parliament. That is not going to be debated on the television network. It has to be in the parliament. When the parliament will meet, when there will be a due process, there was a process of passing the 18th Amendment. when that process will be adopted. Here, the Prime Minister is not ready to come and sit in the Parliament. Here, we don't see the Parliament meetings. The government is running with the ordinances from the very first day. And this is a media strategy that after one day, you create a new issue. Now there will be nobody will be asking about the sugar report. It has been delayed, and there would be no arrest made, and there's a new topic. Tomorrow there will be another new topic. So if the government has so much focus on their media strategy, if they would have focused on their governance, things would have been very, very, very different. But from the very first day, we have seen the economy collapsing, the highest number of deaths taken. You know exactly. The people have to pay that. Where has gone that dam fund? You know, this is just fooling people with these type of slogans and propaganda will not help. At this time, if Prime Minister would have acted as the leader of the nation, he would have taken everyone together. He should have
Right,
not been
ma'am.
sitting on
And
the television
I'm going to come back to you.
promoting
Let me
government.
go back to Ibrahim Khan Sahab and ask him about these so-called propaganda tactics. Is it true, sir, that you are trying to distract or divert attention from the issues that might be real and which are important, and 18th Amendment perhaps is not that important at all? And secondly, that you don't take Parliament seriously, that the Prime Minister of Pakistan doesn't actually visit Parliament that often. What do you have to say on that, sir?
All I have to say is that either I'm not able to communicate to the honorable participant, or if she is just bent upon calling it a propaganda. What kind of a propaganda? I mean, you know that nobody can make amendments without two-thirds majority. All we are saying is let's sit together and make improvements. When she talks about the local governments, yes, we were in the process and we have completed the model for local government to the extent of village council, that the devolution of power should go even further down to the masses, to the real grassroots level where people can benefit from it. And instead of taking it as an opportunity, like saying fine with an open mind and a positive thinking, that fine, if there is some good suggestions coming from anybody, I mean, it does not have to particularly come from the PTI. I mean, People's Party can come up with that, PMLM can come up with any good suggestions, or any other party who's part of
Is
the
it,
parliament.
Ibrahim Khan Sahab, is it true that one of the reasons why the opposition reacts so aggressively is that instead of actually taking these matters first to the Parliament, you actually start debating it in the media?
Nobody is trying to debate it in the media. All we said is whence.
Okay. Right. Let me now go to Arif Chaudhry Sahab. Arif Chaudhry Sahab, when we are talking about all these matters, one has to actually ask where exactly is the national input of the legal community or the constitutionalist community. Shouldn't we have any white papers, research papers on 18th Amendment?
You're right. If we are well intentioned, and especially the stakeholders, the province and the central government, if they are well intentioned and about the amendment, and they are not happy with the amendment, whatever the party, whichever he or she may be, if they are not satisfied, then they should come up with those difficulties, and there should be a national debate. What are those issues which are not being sorted out, which are not being solved due to this amendment? As far as the amendment is concerned, if you remember, this autonomy has always been a problem, and if the discussions and debates are well intentioned, then you can reach a consensus. Otherwise, the results are very, very clear. You remember that, what happened with Bangladesh, this autonomy. So autonomy within a federation, there are certain limits. As far as we are talking about grassroots level devolution of power and dispensation of justice or whatever needs of the people are, they can only be done through that basic that is not basic democracy. I don't want to take that word. You know,
I
you
understand.
know that, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean that democracy should go to that level that the administration should be in the hands of those elected and chosen representatives of the people who are working at the grassroots level. So everybody should take benefit out of that,
Okay.
and that's the um, uh, uh, prescription which is being used in the democratic world. But now the
Right.
problem both ways. I don't consider that in a way, Madam Syed Kamran is wrong. You know, it always happens that things, but it is not only in this government. It was
Okay.
even in the previous government.
Okay.
People's
Okay.
Party may be an exception, but it has always been happening that this forum of parliament that is not being used by the legislators.
Right.
And
Right.
if you remember that previous time, it was always, the prime minister outside the parliament.
Okay.
And same thing we are watching and we are seeing repeatedly, in this tenure, in this regime. And
Right.
if you remember, this People's Party, their prime minister used to be in the parliament. That is
Okay.
why, in a way, she is right to say that, if you have to go to the parliament, then things may be different. But if it starts being discussed out of parliament, then the sagacity and, the veracity and, all good sense which should be attached to such kind of discussion,
Right.
that cannot be attached because,
Right.
anybody can say
Arif
anything.
Chaudhry Sahab, here's
Yes.
another question regarding the bottlenecks that are perceived to be created by 18th Amendment. One aspect is said to be that in the way of accountability, it creates certain distortions because then the power of holding accountable the lawmakers or power players accountable is shifted to provinces, and perhaps provinces don't take it seriously. Do you agree with this perception, sir? Arif Chaudhry Sahab?
We have seen it that when it went to the provinces, it was just like not to FIA, other anti-corruption. It was like this accountability was far less effective than even anti-corruption. So that's
Okay.
why this area really is needs to be discussed again. And as far as the accountability is concerned, I don't think that anybody is serious right now in in accountability, because if we see the government, they too are bent upon bringing those amendments which are going to make this accountability process absolutely toothless, especially the NAB. So
Okay.
that is an area which people of Pakistan want. That across the board, this accountability should be decided that once for all, that nobody is above law, and don't bring the provinces into that.
Right.
It should be federal.
Right.
Because it should be federal, and the appointment of the chairman that must be decided by the parliament, not in this way that these two gentlemen, leader of the opposition and leader of the house, they sit together and
Okay.
decide. This
Okay.
should be debated by the
Okay.
parliament. Anybody who is going to have such a power, such a high office, that
Right.
has to be every Pakistani has a right to talk
Right.
about his character, to talk about his eligibility for that office. All these things are to be discussed and debated by all cross sections of society, and then
Right.
you take a
Right.
decision. That is one point. If they are all are interested in accountability for Pakistan, then they have to take this.
That's a very good point, sir. Let me go back to Sir Kamran Sahiba. And since she actually brought up the matter of sugar report and various other aspects which might be delayed, if accountability is that central a theme or concern for everybody, should we not be focusing on how 18th Amendment actually addresses the matter instead of actually saying that everything is propaganda?
You see, again, Farooq, I'm saying why we are debating this today now, as like exactly when the parliament is not meeting, when the committees have not been formed, when this is not in the parliamentary discussion, why we are diverting the attention, I would again say, accountability is accountability, that kind of accountability that we are facing. All our mainstream leaders were here in Islamabad. They were not in the province. Why I don't see such action with the PTI leaders? Why they have not been arrested? Why they have not been our leaders were arrested on the basis of fake accusations. Here the reports have come. Here the charges have been proved. And we see that one day a person has been removed from a position and other day he got another new position. I should congratulate Prime Minister for completing the half of the century of his cabinet. And exactly most of those coming from the non-elected members. And then the performance, I would say, I would like to hold Prime Minister accountable for all the decisions which were
Absolutely,
wrong,
ma'am.
which were
And I
damaging.
understand what you're saying. Once again, let me go back to another document which is very close to People's Party's heart. That is the Charter of Democracy. In that, you had promised that there is going to be overhauling of the accountability process. But you stayed in power for 5 years, and then we saw PMLN also serving for 5 years, another signatory of Charter of Democracy, but you never addressed those issues. So is it not correct to ask why not actually debate all these aspects today?
Unfortunately for us, it's right. Exactly. We never had that majority. We could never build that consensus. And I would say there were certain power centers who were always influencing, and we could not achieve the real democracy. And it has, today there's a realization. There's a realization in PMLN also. And they are also regretting that this should have been done. And now I would say that exactly tomorrow PTI would regret. What they are doing today, they would regret. They are not here for one term. If they think that exactly this is the end of the political party and they can do away with anything, I would say that's the wrong thinking. Tomorrow you will regret. Tomorrow, if you would like to continue with your existence, then you have to respect the parliamentary norms. Then you have to follow the proper procedures. Then you have to respect the parliament. Then you have to respect the constitution. Then you have to come and sit with each other to get the consensus. Then you have to decide the things with the consensus. Prime Minister is not the leader of a cabinet. Prime Minister is leader of the country, but only when he will assume that charge. As of now, I still feel he's on the container. He's not ready to step down from the container. I still see a voice of an opposition leader rather than the voice of a prime minister.
Okay.
So we have to correct our mistakes that were done in past. We cannot just continue with this zigzag and see that exactly today I have
will
power
you be
and the power
open
will stay
to,
forever. Power will
ma'am, will you be open to working with the government to fix the problems in 18th Amendment?
Farooq, Pakistan People's Party exactly not only came into the parliament, we motivated all the other parties. We had serious reservation on the election process. Despite that, we came to the parliament. We gave a very good gesture to the Prime Minister that exactly come, sit in the parliament. We are here. We are going to support everything which is in the benefit of the country. But not on these baseless debates and in fantasies. From when they will come out of the fantasies, even on this COVID-19 issue. The voice that came from Sindh province, from our chairman, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, and from the chief minister, it was that we have to work together. And even today, we call to work together. But we see that exactly from the other side, there is only a media strategy to sit on the media, target opposition, target other provinces, don't give them due facilities, don't give them due supplies, and just sit and target, create a new issue every day. One day, one issue, another day, another issue, third day, another issue. There has been accountability of what happened at Pakistan border. There has been accountability why the screening system was not intact. There has to be accountability the way Zairine were dealt with. There has to be accountability. And now, who is going to hold accountable that when we have allowed these mosques to continue with the prayers?
Right.
If tomorrow the
Right.
situation will go
Taftan
bad.
border is quite an interesting point that you raise, because there are reports that your party somehow was also involved, because the CM's brother-in-law Sindh government CM's brother-in-law actually was returning from that. But of course, there is this concern and there should be investigation. I'm told that we are left with 3-4 minutes, so I have to move towards conclusions. Ibrahim Khan Sahab, you can talk about accountability or respond to what was said, but I need your conclusion as well, sir.
All I'm saying is that none of the cases which they are facing by the NAV were initiated by us. Those were initiated by PMLN and vice versa. And the PMLN, brought all those cases against them, and they brought all those cases against the PMLN. And our cases are still in the bracket, and we haven't even been able to. Those cases have not matured even to the point where it would have gone to the NAV and the NAV would have taken action on it.
Okay.
Talking about their last tenure in the government, that she's so proudly saying that Prime Minister was every day in the Parliament. All what he did was, look at the integrity of the person. That $60 million were lying at the Swiss banks, and he.
Okay, right, sir. I will take that as your conclusion. One-liner, sir. Arif Chaudhry, sir, if you want to conclude, please. One-liner.
Yeah, national accountability, if it is our number one priority, then this method of selection of the chairman should be decided once for all by the parliament. And so far, we must admit that this process has not been able to deliver, the accountability process in Pakistan. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. I'm told that we are left with 1 minute. Sir Kamran Sahib, very quickly, your one-liner conclusion as well.
I would say national unity is the need of the time, and it is the responsibility of the Prime Minister to create the national unity and to take everyone along. Sitting in isolation will not help.
Absolutely, ma'am, that we need national unity. I'm told that we have run short of time. Sir Kamran Sahib, thank you very much for your time. Arif Chaudhry Sahib, thank you very much for being part of the program. Mohammad Ibrahim Khan Sahib, thank you very much for joining us on Skype. Viewers, you have listened to our participants. Of course, opposition is definitely going to say that timing is not correct. But there is something about 18th Amendment that keeps resurfacing, and we have to seriously look at that. One aspect that one has to actually look at, and remember, many of us celebrated when 18th Amendment was passed, but nothing is part of faith or religion. We cannot have blind faith in any amendment. So there should be some room for negotiation. That is one aspect. Secondly, Arif Chaudhry Sahib just pointed out that the method of appointment of Chairman NAB has been quite controversial in the past. Perhaps we should have hearings on appointment rather than such a confusing kind of system. Let us hope in coming days we have the kind of debate that is needed, and then we can reach consensus on such thorny matters as well. This was today's program. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.